he still wanted to play. Fortunately, Bryant was a good friend of a man named Sonny Hill. Hill ran a well-known summer league in Philadelphia and had contacts throughout the basketball world. He told Bryant about a unique opportunity to keep playing the game he loved. Although basketball had been invented in the United States, the game had spread all over the globe and was probably the world's second most popular sport after soccer. Several European countries even supported their own professional leagues. Like all pro sports leagues, they were always on the lookout for talent. And the United States was still the home of the best basketball players in the world. Representatives of the Italian Professional League had contacted Hill and told him they were in the market for some talented American players. They paid well and played a much shorter, easier schedule than the NBA, usually with only one game a week. Hill told Bryant he should consider playing in Italy. When Bryant said he was interested, Hill put him in touch with the Italians. Bryant was precisely the kind of player the Italians wanted. His NBA background, size, and skills were guaranteed to make him a star in the Italian league. Moreover, his effervescent personality was certain to make him a crowd favorite. Bryant was intrigued, and not just because it meant he could keep playing basketball. When Joe had played in the NBA, he'd spent a lot of time on the road. He sometimes went a week or more without seeing his family. Joe and Pam were the parents of 3 young children. Their oldest daughter, Sharia, was 7 years old. Sister, Shia, was 6. And Kobe, named after a special type of steak and born on August 23, 1978, was 5. While Bryant still held out some hope of returning to the NBA, he worried about the effect such continued absences would have on his family. The more Joe and Pam discussed the possibility of moving to Italy, the better it sounded. The money was good, and the lighter schedule meant he'd be able to spend a great deal of time with his family. In addition, they thought that living in Italy and traveling around Europe would be a wonderful opportunity for their children to experience a different culture. They decided to accept the offer and move to Italy. Kobe Bryant's basketball education was ready to begin. Chapter 2, 1984 to 1991. His father's son. The Bryants packed up their belongings and moved to Rieti, Italy in 1984. While Joe Bryant was learning the ins and outs of Italian basketball, and Pam Bryant was finding her way around a new city, Sharia, Shea, and Kobe, who had just turned 6, started attending an Italian school. Surprisingly, the Bryants' 3 children had a relatively easy time adjusting to their new culture. Children are adept at learning new languages. Although they didn't understand a word of Italian when they began school, as Kobe later explained, "My 2 sisters and I got together after school to teach each other the words we had learned. I was able to speak Italian pretty well within a few months." Joe Bryant experienced a similarly quick transition to basketball Italian style. On his Italian team, he was the go-to guy, the player who was supposed to score points and entertain the fans. He thrived in the somewhat less competitive league. Few players could match his blend of size and quickness. He averaged over 30 points per game and wowed the crowd with dunks, long jumpers, and no-look passes. In a matter of weeks, he became one of the league's best-known and most popular players. The fans even made up songs about him, claiming he was a better player than NBA stars like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The family loved their new life. They enjoyed traveling around Europe to see such sights as the Roman Colosseum in Italy and the Eiffel Tower in Paris. They also enjoyed the opportunity to experience new cultures. In much of Europe, for example, people don't buy all their food at grocery stores. Instead, they often shop at outdoor markets full of fresh fruits and vegetables. But for the Bryants, the best part of living in Europe was the fact that the entire family got to spend so much time together. Although they faced little prejudice in Europe because of their African American heritage, it was still difficult, particularly at first, for them to make friends. So they turned to one another for strength and company. Kobe loved being around his father. He went to many of his games and loved seeing the way the crowd reacted to his father's spectacular play. He often played basketball with his father and his sisters, and at 6 years old, could already dribble and shoot. Kobe's grandparents